Hello everyone. Please confirm. Are you able to hear me and see me properly? We'll start then. Very good evening there, Aditya. So I have Kanav here. Wonderful, Kanav. Thanks for confirmation. So our agenda for the day is, as this is the last warm-up session before you start your iCAT mocks from tomorrow, right? You already have taken mini mocks, right? So this is your last warm-up session before the actual iCATs starting tomorrow. Very good evening there, Vineet, Meera. By the way, have you taken the mini mocks? Yes or no? And what was your experience? Please write in the comments. If there is any confusion, any question, any doubt you might be having, you can ask. Because our today's session, we are going to revise all the things, right? As the name suggests, it is a warm-up session. So to get ready before the actual competition, right? So you have already taken many of the warm-up sessions earlier, and you must have taken some mini mocks as well. So if you want to ask something, okay, Aditya is new to channel, so not taken any other test. Don't worry, Aditya. So tomorrow we are going to have our first iCAT, which is free for everyone. So even if you have not registered yet, you can at least take the tomorrow's iCAT, right? Tomorrow's mock test, and you need to register for that. And all the arrangements, all the details will be given in the description box there. And I think there is a pinned comment also there. Okay. Yes, others. Any one of you have taken the previous mini mocks? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So our agenda for the day would be to revise all the things, the basics, and basically the arithmetic part, which is the largest of your CAT quant. So in arithmetic, mainly the formula revision part basically, we'll be revising all the important concepts. You can also call it a cheat sheet. The important points which you must remember. Right? The important points, the important concepts which must be handy with you always whenever you are going to attempt a test. Okay, so the session completely depends upon you. If you will be responding nicely, fast enough, so that fast you'll be going through, right? Are you ready? So first tell me, what are the different topics in arithmetic? Arithmetic में आप क्या-क्या topics पढ़ते हैं? Please tell me in the comments. Yes, wonderful. Vineet, Neelu, Rajat. Yes, please answer my questions. What are the different topics we study in arithmetic? And we are going to talk about that only. ठीक है ना? हम उन्हीं के बारे में आज बात करने वाले हैं. Okay, Aditya has written many topics in one go. Ratio, profit and loss. It's PPL. ठीक है, profit percentage loss. Time speed distance, simple interest, compound interest. Wonderful. Time and work. Excellent. Kanav. Yes, Aditya, wonderful. Time and work is there. Simple interest, compound interest is already there, written by Aditya. Okay, I think Aditya has done all the things. Yes, time and work and distance. Wonderful, wonderful. Any topic left? Any topic left from this list? SICI, Nilu, that's perfectly fine. Any other topic? You are missing one very important topic. Yes, exactly. Kiran Mai. Yes, averages and percentages. Excellent, excellent. See, there are three basic topics. I have said it many times in many of my sessions. Percentage, average, and ratios. These are the three basic components of our arithmetic part. And the different other topics are all based on them only. ठीक है ना? Yes, exactly. Mixture and alligation, which was a part of averages. So in averages part, we have this mixture and alligation also. In ratio, we have this time and work, time, speed, distance, and also sometimes this partnership, right, where you are having the profits to be distributed among the partners. Fine. And same in percentages, we have, other than percentage, we have its application in profit and loss. Then we also have that simple interest, compound interest, right? So these are all the topics. These are all the topics of this broad area arithmetic. And you know that this is having the largest share in your CAT quant part. In CAT QA, this arithmetic has its largest share. And arithmetic is composed of all these different things. So today we are going to talk about fast regarding the important concepts and a sort of revision for all these topics. ठीक है ना? So that is going to be really very helpful, very fruitful session for your upcoming mocks. So let me repeat, if you have not yet taken any of the mocks, maybe you have just started your preparation, or you are in the middle of your preparation, or you may have completed your syllabus, whatever be the situation, there is no excuse. Okay, there is no excuse. You need to attempt the mocks right now. Okay, first it is starting from tomorrow, and I'll be telling the details about that meanwhile. So let's start with the first topic for the day, that is averages. Okay, ready? If you have any question, any query so far, I'm all eyes. I'm all hearing to you through your comments. Anything, any query you might have regarding any of the things which we have talked so far, please go ahead. After that, we shall start with our first topic, average. No query, fine. So Aditya has no query. It's clear till now. Excellent. What about others? Arjun has shared the list. Perfectly fine. Okay, it's no query. Very fine. Very nice. Good thing. By the way, if you are not having any doubt, any confusion, it's very good thing. Right? It's very good thing. And also, if you have any doubt, any query, so to ask doubts is considered as a sign of intelligence. All right. So it's a win-win situation. You no doubts, no confusion. Very nice, right? And if you have some queries, you want to ask something, you have some confusions, that is that's an act of intelligence. Okay, perfectly fine if there is no doubt. Now, if you don't have any doubt, let me ask you a question. What do you mean by average? Please write the formula for average. How do you calculate average? Mention fast. Write fast. How do you calculate average? That is our first topic. How do you calculate average? Okay, Aditya is writing sum upon n. Dhruv says total by n. And sum of all the observations, right? Total of all the values and divided by number of values, yeah, number of terms, right? Exactly, Ayushman, sum of all the values divided by number of values. Neelu also says same thing. Perfectly fine. Excellent. Arjun also says same thing, sum of observation divided by number of items. Wonderful, wonderful. So all of you are familiar with that. That is very basic formula. We know what is average. So average is sum of all the observations divided by number of all the observations. So that is to be used in QA as well as LRDI, right? In DI also you have got a lot of tables, and on the tables you are having certain values where you need to calculate the average of all those values, right? When one value is changed, the average will change. Average is increasing or decreasing or whatever is happening, that we need to see. ठीक है ना? Okay, excellent, excellent. So is there any other way to calculate average other than this? Is there any other way to calculate the average? Something different from this? Please tell if you mention, if you know. And also tell me what is the meaning of this average? Average का मतलब ही क्या है? Mid value, okay, Ayushman says, wonderful. Mid value, average, is it going to be mid value always? Do you think so? It's not necessary, right? It's not necessary. The average is sort of central tendency of the data. That's perfectly fine. We are having a certain data. So what is the average value? What is the mean value? What is the central tendency of that data? That is average. But is it going to be middle value always? Not necessary. है ना? So listen and understand very carefully. When we are talking about the term average, so actually, that's perfectly fine. Mid value, mean. Is uniform distribution. Exactly, exactly. Yes, Siddhant. So it's a uniform distribution situation or equal distribution. So I prefer the term equal distribution. Equal distribution. So as Siddhant has mentioned, in case of a uniform distribution, it is a mid value. So that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Let's see here. Dhruv Arora is saying average is if we distribute the things equally. Exactly. Exactly. What value does each get? Exactly, Dhruv. Wonderful. Wonderful. So that's what I'm calling equal distribution. So if you are having certain things, let's say there are maybe 5 kids, right? There are 5 kids. First kid is given 1 ball. Second is given 2. Third is given 3. Fourth is given 4. Fifth is given 5, right? So they are having different number of balls. So first one is having 1 ball. And second one is having 2 balls, third is having 3, fourth one is having 4, fifth one is having 5 balls. Okay, so we need to calculate the average number of balls each one is having, right? We need to calculate the average number of balls each one is having. So what does it mean? So using this basic formula, we can add all these number of balls, right? So by the way, what is the total number of balls here? Can you add them? What is the total number of balls here with all the 5 kids? Please count fast and tell me. It's 5 and 4, 9 and 3, 12 and 2, 14 and 1, 15, right? It's 15 balls. And it is to be distributed among the 5 kids. So number of observations or number of persons involved, it is 5, right? You divide by 5 and you get the average, which is coming out to be 3, isn't it? So that is using simple formula. Using formula also we can get the answer. We have just got it, right? It's a very simple thing. But as I said, average means equal distribution. That means redistributing these balls equally or uniformly among all the participants, right? Redistributing this balls equally among all the participants. So now you can see that if I take out these 2 balls and put them here, and if I take this 1 ball and put it here, so now you see, if I just redistribute it like that, so what is happening? That each person, each of the kid is having exactly 3 number of balls, isn't it? Can you see this? Yes, exactly, Ayushman. Wonderful. Is that clear to everyone? So this 3 is actually the average. So basically, what is the average? Average is nothing but it is equal distribution. So as Siddhant mentioned earlier, I'm using his same words. So if it is uniform distribution, then mid value is the average. Or uniform distribution, practically or tactically, if you say, it is called arithmetic progression, right? If the terms are in arithmetic progression, in that case, the average value comes out to be the middle value. The average of an AP sequence would be the mid value, right? If number of terms are odd, and if it is not odd, in that case, it is first term plus last term by 2. Or it may be second plus second last by 2, all right? And so on. Is that clear to everyone so far? Is it okay? I need to see your comments. Without that, how I get to know that whether you are understanding or not? Right? So be active in writing. Fine? Is it okay? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? It's fine. Yes. So all of you have understood what is the meaning of average. This formula you already know. What is the meaning of average? It is sum of all observations divided by number of all observations. And what actually it is equal distribution, right? It is equal distribution. So fine. And I have also used the concept of AP here. If the observations are following a uniform or basically a increasing or decreasing order in a particular pattern, right, in AP, where the gap is equal, in that case, the average comes out to be the middle value, or first plus last by 2, second plus second last by 2, and so on, right? As you can see here as well. So 1 plus 5, that is first term is 1, last term is 5. So 1 plus 5, 6 by 2, that is 3, or 2 plus 4, that is 6 by 2, that is 3, or the middle value here. Fine. Okay, let's see what we are having now. So we are having this cheat sheet here for all of you. You can take a screenshot, and then we are going to discuss all these terms. We are going to discuss all the points. You can take a screenshot. Some of the things you might already be knowing. Some of the things might be new for you. And meanwhile, we are going to solve questions as well, right? So along with the concepts, we'll be solving questions. Taken? Fine, fine. Let's see now. Okay. So by the way, I think I want more involvement from you people. I'm seeing feeling a bit lethargic, I guess. Do you want a question? Do you want a puzzle? Please comment me. Comment here. Yes or no? Do you want a puzzle before I discuss all these points? Perfectly fine. Welcome, Harshit. Screenshot done. Wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, comments. See, I have said it many times, because of this online media nowadays, these comments are the only way to know whether you are awake, whether you are there or not, right? Otherwise, you know, we know all the online meetings and all. You have logged in, but you are not there. See, that should not happen. Anyway, Chika, so you are all here. That's very nice. And screenshot you have taken. And we are going to discuss all these points. But before that, let me give you a small puzzle. Chika, let me ask you a small puzzle. Chika, so I'm covering this slide now. I'm asking you a small puzzle. And puzzle, a very simple question, very simple question. Please answer it fast. So this is a 3-digit number, ABC. The same 3-digit number, ABC. The same 3-digit number, ABC. And they are being added. Okay, they are being added. So these are three-digit numbers. They are equal numbers. So they are being added, and the sum comes out to be another 3-digit number, CCC. Okay. Now all the digits which are represented by same letters, they are same, right? That means all the C's are same, all the B's are same, all the A's are same, but A, B, C, they are different. So you have to identify the value of this number. Fine. Do it fast. Tell me the answer. No cheating, no chat GPT, no artificial intelligence. Use your natural intelligence. I'm looking at your comments. Any hint? How to start? CAT is exam of your intelligence. Believe me, CAT is exam of your intelligence. Okay, I'm giving you 1 minute for that. Yes, any starting hint, starting clue. I just had a teacher's workshop from CBSE. I act as CBSE trainer also for many schools. I visit many schools in my nearby community for training of teachers, and there also I ask the similar type of questions, right? Because nowadays most of the people are dull-headed actually, right? We do not want to use our intelligence. As I can see, some are saying no clues, but I have got some answer as well. Dhruv Arora, wonderful, he has got an answer. I was asking for the starting clue, he was working, he was continuing to work, and Dhruv is there with some answers, while other students are there who have not got any starting clue. Yes, Dhruv, can you give any starting clue? You have given your answer, that's perfectly fine. Can you suggest how to start? How did you start? How did you start? What was the starting point? Yes, others, Ayushman, Harshit, Ayush, Aditya. Any idea? This is simple addition question. We are adding three-digit numbers and the result is another 3-digit number. Okay, we have got certain hints here. Aditya is saying C is equal to 5. Okay. Same thing Dhruv is mentioning. Yes, good thing. Okay, everyone see here. Does it work? Fine, आगे देखते हैं. So both of them, Aditya and Dhruv, they are saying this C should be the starting point. So basically, when we are adding this unit digit C, the sum is ending in C. So do you know any such digit which when added 3 times end in the same digit? What could be the value of this C? If I take 0 at the ones place, 0, 0, 0, the ones place would be 0 only, isn't it? C might be 0 as well. But can C be 0? No, because 0, 0, 0 won't be the sum of three-digit numbers, right? So that's why 0 is discarded. That's why 0 is discarded, isn't it? Now very quickly you can see what about others. Do 1, 1, 1 ends in 1? No, it ends in 3. So this is also discarded. 2, 2, 2 doesn't end in 2. So this is also discarded. 3, 3, 3 won't work, right? Because that will end in 9. 4, 4, 4 will end in 2. You see, it will not end in 4. It is also discarded. But when you have 5, 5, 5, so that comes out to be 15. It ends in 5. It works, right? It works. We can proceed further also to see whether any other digit will help. So 6, 6, 6 will end in 8. It doesn't satisfy. 7, 7, 7 will end in 1. Doesn't satisfy. 8, 8, 8 will end in 4. Doesn't satisfy. 9, 9, 9, that's 27, ends in 7. Doesn't satisfy. Isn't it? Is it clear? So although 0 as a digit was fine, but 0, 0, 0 could not be the value of the sum. So that's why this last digit, this C, must be 5 only. Is that clear to everyone? So that was a starting clue. So that was a starting clue. We have to think. We have to think. Right? So now after putting C equals to 5, then you can proceed further. Then it's not that difficult. Let me see. Okay, Dhruv, can you mention what did you do further afterwards? You have taken C5. Let me write here. So C is 5. This is 5. This is 5. And then 3-digit number here comes out to be 555. Now what about A and B? How did you get those values? Excellent. Excellent, Dhruv. Wonderful. See, now we are having here AAA. If I see this hundreds place this first, so AAA, what could be the value of A? A could be 1, so 1, 1, 1, 3, and it is 5, so that means 2 maybe carry. Or can A be 2? So 2, 2, 2, that would be 6, which is more than that. It is not possible, right? So A has to be 1 for sure. A has to be 1 for sure. Because A can't be more than 1, A can't be 0 as well. Is it fine? So A has to be 1 for sure. So A is 1, 1, 1. That means 2 has been taken carry from the previous step. So from this 15, 1 has been taken as carry. So 1 is to be added here. So 1 plus B plus B plus B should be 25, so that we can have 2 carry, right? So basically 1 plus B plus B plus B must be equal to 25, so that we can take 2 carry from here, right? So can we find the value of B from here? Yes, it's obvious. This 3B comes out to be 24. Right? 3B comes out to be 25 minus 1, 24. Which means B should be equal to 24 by 3, which is 8. So that's our answer. This 185, when I did 3 times, it results in 555. Is it okay? And Dhruv already has mentioned a very nice method that the moment we have figured out that C must be 5, that means the number is 555. Yes, we could directly do exactly. Dhruv has mentioned it again. So there was no need to spend time to separately find out the values of A and B. We could have directly said that this ABC is nothing but 1/3 of CCC, isn't it? Is 3 times ABC is CCC, right? Which means ABC is nothing but 1/3 of CCC, which is 555 divided by 3. That is the direct question now. 3 ones are 3, 25, 3 8s are 24, 1 is remaining 15, so 3 5s are 15. So 185. Is it okay? Yes, Harshit. Some of the B's should be in such a way we get 2 carried. Yes, exactly, Harshit. By adding 1, it should be ending in 5, and also it should give 2 carry. That means it should be 25 exactly, right? It should be 25 exactly, because I wanted a carry of 2 also. Is that clear to everyone? Please confirm. And it deserves your likes also. Fast. See, before the actual CAT, you should be fired up actually. That is the purpose of the session. That is the name of the session, warm up. It's not only warm up, you should be fired up, I would say. You should be fired up. बहुत time हो गया warm वाले, कब तक warm? It is not lukewarm. You should be fired up now. Right? Okay. Excellent. So these type of small things are there which is not related to any topic. Right? It's basic numbers. It's basic your reasoning skills, your thinking skills. And that is actually what is being tested in CAT nowadays. Right? So although we are having some small topics there which we are going to revise, which we are revising, but it is not at the cost of using your intelligence. You cannot keep your intelligence aside and then prepare for CAT. No, it is not going to help. Okay, it is not going to help. Okay, so let's come back to the previous screen. So we know that average sum of all the observations divided by number of observations, which we already wrote, right? Now average of a set of values always lies between minimum to maximum value. Now, that is very important thing, right? That is very important thing. So whenever we are having any data here, so which is having certain minimum value, certain maximum value, so the average is always going to lie between them, right? So that is very basic thing, but people commit error here as well. लोग गलतियां कर देते हैं, नहीं करनी है, ठीक है? Okay, next point. So there are following important points about averages. Now first thing, average of first n natural numbers. It is very important thing. N plus 1 by 2, right? N plus 1 by 2, average of first n natural numbers. So reverse is also very helpful. Its reverse is also very helpful. क्या मतलब है? If we know the average of first n natural numbers, can you tell about how many natural numbers we are talking about? Yes, it's almost double, right? It's close to n by 2, right? It's almost close to n by 2. Just half का ही फर्क हुआ ना? It is actually n by 2 plus half. n by 2 plus half. तो अगर मुझे एवरेज की वैल्यू मालूम है, सो आई कैन टेल अबाउट कितने नेचुरल नंबर्स की बात हो रही है. आर यू गेटिंग दैट? आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? सो इफ आई से यू दैट लेट्स से आई एम राइटिंग द थिंग हियर, एवरेज ऑफ फर्स्ट n natural numbers is let's say 15. Find n. जल्दी से बताइए. If average of first n natural numbers is 15, how many natural numbers we are talking about? अरे आदित्य कैसी बातें कर रहे हो? Not correct. Average is given 15. Different answers I'm seeing here. Some are saying 29, some are saying 31. Yes, it is 29. See, we can check very easily now. Now, what is given? This 15 is actually the value of average, that is n plus 1 by 2. I just told you that number of terms is going to be almost double to that, right? So, answer is going to be nearby 30. Of course, it is not going to be exactly 30. So, 30 के आसपास ही answer होने वाला है. So, is it going to be 29 or 31? That you can check out using this method, right? So, if you find out the average of all the first 29 natural numbers, it would be 29 plus 1 by 2, right? Which is 30 by 2, that is 15. That's correct. But if you find the average of first 31 natural numbers, it is going to be 31 plus 1 by 2, which is 32 by 2, that is 16. So, in this case, 15 is the right situation. So, answer would be 29. ठीक है ना? So, basic idea was that the moment we know what is the average, we must immediately understand that total number of terms, this n, is going to be almost double of this, near to 30. That's what we discussed here, right? Now, exactly how much it is, that we can verify very easily. So, 15 का half नहीं करना था, as somebody wrote. ठीक है? Is that clear? So, these are the things of small things which you must remember. And if you remember these basic things, you can answer very fast. Suppose if the options given to these questions are like that only, say these options are 7, 29, and maybe 67 or maybe 99. So it's quite obvious it's going to be nearby double of 15. There is only one option. No need to calculate, no need to verify. Is that clear? Is that relatable, understandable? So that's how CAT becomes easy test if you have your basics clear and you are good at eliminating options, right? It's 7, 29, 67, 99. It's a direct option game. You know that answer is going to be almost near to double of that. And there's only one number because numbers are far away, right? If they had been close numbers like 29, 30, 31, 32 like that, so in that case, we need to find the exact value. That could be done easily. But if options are far away, then we just need to know the concept, immediately click the answer, move further, move further, move further. Okay? Okay, fine. Let's move to the next point here. Second point. Okay, I'm moving to the second point now. Average of first n odd numbers now, right? Average of first n odd numbers. Dhruv, CAT is a mixture of questions. आते हैं हर तरह के क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आते हैं. I have been attempting CAT for long now, and CAT has got all varieties of questions. You need to be a good, you need to have good eyesight. You need to have good eyesight exactly to locate the questions, to locate the correct questions and answer them in the correct way. You know, most of the times what happens, the people who are good at mathematics, they don't see the options. Yes, mark my words, the people who are good at mathematics, they don't see options, they start solving immediately, right? And the people who are not good at mathematics, they see only options. कौन सा अच्छा लग रहा है ना, कौन सा अच्छा लग रहा है, because they are not good at mathematics. They don't want to see the question even. They just look at the options and just guess randomly. है ना, फिर जय माता दी, they do like that. So both extremes are not good situations, right? So that's why you need to have a good eyesight to see what is the question, how are the options presented, and take the best use of that. I hope you are getting my points, right? Okay, so the second point mentioned here, average of first n odd numbers. So when we are having first n odd numbers like 1, 3, 5, 2, up to 2n minus 1, so the average comes out to be the middle number, that is n. Average comes out to the middle number. Yes, exactly, Dhruv. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that happens. I've seen so many students. I have seen myself also. In one of the CATs, I remember I got stuck in one of the geometry question. That was first question of the test. Asan tha, and I spent more than 5 minutes. I remember 5 to 7 minutes almost. And after that, I realized, "Bhai, kya kar raha hai na?" Then I moved fast. Asan question tha, but I stuck somehow. It happens. Okay. So those average of first and odd numbers is simply the middle number. It's a middle term, right? So what does it mean? Let me take an example. If I talk about that average of first and odd numbers, average of first n odd numbers is equal to, let's say, 7. What is n? Find fast, everyone. Average of first n odd numbers is 7. Then what is the value of n? It's not 7. Average of first, total n is 7. Perfectly fine. Yes. Exactly. And what is the last number, by the way? Can you tell me? Yes, 7 is the right answer. There are total 7 numbers. So what would be the last number? So basically this 7 is the middle number now. There are 3 numbers are before that and 3 numbers are after that. Right? The 3 numbers before that and 3 numbers are after that. So 1, 3, 5, 7 was the average. Then we have 3 more terms, that is 9, 11 and 13. So of course total 7 numbers are there and 13 is the largest one. ठीक है ना? So average of first and odd numbers is n. So n odd numbers is 7. That means n is 7 directly. ठीक है ना? That's why the concepts and the question, all things you should have a good balance of all the things. Okay, moving further. So average of first n even numbers. So we just need to increase it by 1. It becomes n plus 1. ठीक है ना? Average of first n even numbers is simply n plus 1. Clear so far? Moving further, so average of n terms in arithmetic progression, we talked about it earlier as well. So it is n plus 1st term. That is basically the middle term. It is actually the middle term, right? This is the middle term where n is odd. If n is not odd, in that case, see, if n is not odd, when n is even, in that case, it is average of the middle 2 terms. Or not only middle 2 terms, we can take average of first term, last term, and second last term, third last term, and so on. So that also we have already talked about. Okay, so that's all about these different properties regarding averages. Is that clear? Any question in these points? If there's any question, please ask. If there's anything you want to confirm, clarify, ask regarding these points which we have discussed. Please confirm, is it clear? Yes. And if you have any query, then do write. Okay, Dhruv is clear. Yeah, Ayush is also clear. Perfectly fine. Excellent. Excellent, Harshit. Okay, so let's move further to have some more properties regarding averages. Okay, that was the same point. It's continuation. So average of 6, 10, 14, 18, 22, 36, 30, 34. Okay. How to find this average now? Is it correct? 18 plus 22 by 2? Is there any pattern here? Is there any pattern here? Yes, the pattern is there. What is the pattern? Yes, it's an AP with common difference 4. Excellent, Ayushman. Yes, it's AP with common difference of 4. Wonderful. So AP we just talked about. So whenever we are having AP, so how to find its average? So average would be first term plus last term by 2. It is mentioned here. So average of n terms of an AP arithmetic progression is first term plus last term by 2, or second plus second last by 2, or third plus third last by 2, and so on. Right? So if there are odd number of terms, in that case middle term will work. But right now we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 terms. So there is no middle term. So middle term if I see, so 4 and 4. So these two are acting as a middle pair. So I can find their average. That is 18 plus 22 by 2. Right? So 18 plus 22 is how much? 40 by 2, 20 aega na? It would be 20. And it would be 20, not 19. Yes, exactly, Dhruv. It's 20. So it is not necessary to locate the middle pair. I can just find the average of first and last term also. So that is in this case, it is 6 plus 34 by 2. Right, that is 20. Okay, na? By the way, when I can use this method average as first term plus last term by 2, if I ask you this question, is this a new formula for average now, that first term plus last term by 2, or the mid value? We had talked about it earlier in the beginning of the session as well. So when we can make use of this expression, that average is first term plus last term by 2? When the data is in arithmetic progression, right? When the terms are following arithmetic progression, only then in that case, right? Only in AP, right? Write it in bold, don't miss this. It's only in AP. If the data is not following arithmetic progression, in that case, we cannot use this method to calculate average. Okay, let's proceed further. So now these are some very important points. So if each term in a set is increased by the value k, right? If you increase all the values by some certain amount, right? So what will happen to the average? So average is also increased by k. Average is also increased by k. Remember that example I gave to you where when there were kids with certain number of bowls. So if every kid is given one more bowl, so what will be the new average? The average will just increase by 1, right? So same way it will work with decrease also, multiplied also, divide also. Okay, when all the values experience certain change, same change, right? All the values are increased by k, all the values are decreased by k, or multiplied by k, or divided by k. In that case, the average also experience the same change. Fine? That was a good thing, na? हमने जानबूझ के गलत लिखा था so that we can get to know whether you are active or not. Excellent, excellent. That means our trick worked here. Yes, yes. You know, there was once a person was telling that there was a teacher. He was writing on the board. He was writing on the board table in a small class. 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 6, 2 4s are 8, 2 5s are 10, 2 6s are 12, 2 7s are 14, 2 8s are 16, 2 9s are 18, 2 10s are 40. Fine? So everyone is going to point out the error. Sir, it's not 40, it's 20, right? Do you think the teacher doesn't know that? When teacher has written 9 correct values, so why the teacher would write the 10th wrong value, right? It's just to bring that attention back, right? That's one thing. Second thing is that to understand that people care more about your mistakes, and we are expert at finding the mistakes. We overlook the correct things. We overlook the right things. Anyway, so in our case, both objectives have been fulfilled. That all of you became active. I could see you doing some activity here, doing something, some work with your fingers at least. No, Dhruv, anyone can do errors. I'm not immune to that. I can also commit errors. Okay, let's proceed further. So now, how to find average when the terms are not following arithmetic progression? अगर terms AP में नहीं हैं, they are not having any pattern as we have just discussed. In that case, how to find average other than simply adding all the numbers divided by number of terms? Can there be some other method? So we are writing it here. It is concept of assumed average. Assumed average, or sometimes we call it that mean value, base value. Different terms people use. ठीक है ना? So for example, we have to find the average of these 4 numbers: 54, 55, 57, 61. Please do that. Find out fast. 54, 55, 57, 61. You have to find average of these values. जल्दी से कीजिए. Don't look at the board, just see these 4 values. You have to find the average of these 4 values, and they are not following AP, right? They are not following AP. So what is the way out? Should we add all the 4 values divided by 4? That is one of the ways, and that's correct. There is no harm in that. Yes, exactly. Dhruva does the same thing. We can add all the 4 values. We can divide by 4. That was the normal way we started with. Can there be some other way? Yes, and that other way is that assumed value. See, I told you about that average is actually equal distribution. So if I take that there are 4 persons, 4 boys with that many number of balls each, so we want to distribute them equally, right? We want to distribute them equally. So if I say that everyone is having at least 54 balls, 54 balls, so sabhi ke paas hai hi na? Yes, exactly, Aditya. Wonderful, wonderful. We could have taken 50 also separately. That's perfectly fine. 54 is the minimum value here. So 54 से extra कितनी है? This person is having +1 balls, right? 54 everyone is having. Other than that, this person is having 1 extra ball. This person is having 7 more, and this person is having this was having 3 more. 54 say it is having 3 more, and this person is having 7 more, right? So 7 plus 3, 10, 10 and 1, 11. Now these extra 11 balls need to be distributed equally among the 4 persons, right? So first person was having 54, so second person was having 54 plus 1, isn't it? Third person is having same 54 plus 3, and the fourth person is having 54 plus 7. Are you getting that? Are you getting that? So when I'm saying they should be equally distributed, it means these 3 quantities, that means 7 and 3, 10 and plus 1, 11. So this 11 need to be redistributed equally among the 4 persons. So effectively I just need to do this 11 by 4. So if it would have been 12, so 4 3s are 12. 3 hota, abhi 0.25 kam ho jayega, right? So this comes out to be 2.75. So already it was 54. Already it was 54. So now 54 will be, we need to add this part as well, right? So the new average comes out to be 56.75. So idea is that, although right now there are only 4 values, we can add them directly also. But idea is that we should understand the concept, how we can calculate faster without writing much. So adding these values was quite easier, calculating this average was very easy, and adding it back to that the previous value becomes much simpler. Fine. Now what is to be taken as this base value, assumed value? It could be anything. Right now I have taken the smallest one, Somebody here has taken, I think Aditya has taken 50, that's perfectly fine. In this question, if I say it has been taken as 57, that's perfectly fine. We can take any value, all right? It could be value of one of these values, it could be something less than that, something more than that, any value will work. But objective is to fasten up our calculations. Is that okay? Ayushman says, we can see the difference between 54, 55, 55, 57, 57, 61. You're talking about their difference, that is not equal, na? Ayushman, their difference is not even. This difference is 1, this difference is 2, and this difference is 4. Right? So the mutual difference doesn't work out here. So what was the important part here? We need to see that equal distribution part. That's what we did. Is that okay? So let's assume the average is 57. So we pick any value. So right now I have picked 54 and we solved accordingly. So if I would have picked 57, in that case, these values were smaller than that. So 57 minus 3 it is. 57 minus 2 it is, right? And this is 57 only, and this is 57 plus 4. So effectively we are having extra quantity minus 1. So minus 1 by 4 is 0.25. So the average comes out to be 57 minus 0.25. ठीक है? Yes, Ayushman, yes. So objective is that equal distribution. The objective is that equal distribution. So that is the meaning of average. That is the meaning of average. So after equal distribution, what is the quantity that each person is having? That is the average value, right? That is the average value. So that is the basic meaning of average, that equal distribution. Fine. Okay, let's proceed further. And now we are moving to the next topic. Ready? So it is percentage this time. Now, first tell me, how do you calculate percentage? How do you calculate percentage? For example, what example should we take? Say, I'm having certain rupees. There are two persons, A and B. A is having maybe 30 rupees. B is having maybe 40 rupees. So how much percent the total money out of the total, how much percent is owned by person A? Yes, percent is per 100 of course. So तो total का कितना percent पैसा A के पास है? How much percent of the total amount is owned by person A? How will you calculate that? So if I am asking about how much percent of the total is owned by a person A, it is very simple thing. Yes, 30 by 17 to 100. The person A is having 30. So how much is the value which we want to calculate the percent of, right? And with what quantity we are comparing it? We are comparing this 30 rupees with the total amount, right? Which is 70 rupees in this case. ठीक है ना? Yes, exactly. So the amount which A owns divided by the total amount, which is 70 in this case, multiplied with 100. So in simplifying, we can find the answer, right? And how much percentage this comes out to be? So it is basically 3 by 7, right? Now comes the important part. We must know the conversion of these fractions into percentages handily, right? हमें मालूम होना चाहिए. There are some very common fractions which you are going to see repeatedly in the examination. Do you know what is 1 by 7 in terms of percentage? So 1 by 7 is equal to 14.28%. It's very easy to remember, right? 7 ka double 14, 14 ka double 28, right? It's very easy to remember. So now this is 3 times of that. It is 3 times of that. So that is 42, 14 3s are 42. So it is 42 point something, right? It's 42 point something. Is that fine? So it's close to 42.57. rather. So 42.85%, that would be the answer. ठीक है ना? Yes, exactly, Aditya. Wonderful. Wonderful. So here we are having a table for all of you, whose values we must certainly remember. So 1 by 2, all of you know it is 50%, right? 1 by 2, all of you know it is 50%. 1 by 3 is 33.33%. 1 by 4, 25%. 1 by 5, 20%. How we are getting these values? We are simply dividing 100 by 2, 100 by 3 like that. And as some of you already mentioned, that percentage means per 100 or out of 100. So wherever we see this symbol percent, we can replace it by 1 by 100. right? Wherever you see this symbol percent, we can replace it by 1 by 100. Here also, if you see, so if it's 50% means 50 by 100, that is 1 by 2. 33.33%, that means 33.33 by 100, which is 1 by 3. 25% means 25 by 100, that is 1 by 4, like that. Like that. Is it okay? Yes. So, certainly you can have this conversion table in front of your study table, as Dhruv is mentioning, perfectly fine. But you can't take that same table in examination hall, right? So you need to be familiar with these values, and these are some of the values which you are going to use very frequently, right? So the things which you use most frequently, they get stuck in our head, right? वो कहीं ना कहीं अटक जाएंगे, you will not forget them, right? But you need to make a conscious effort for that also, right? I remember there was a child once many years ago. So she was a commerce student. She said कि सर हमें 2 into 3 करने के लिए भी कैलकुलेटर की आदत डाली गई है. So I can't calculate. That was her claim. That was her claim. So that should not happen, right? So although we are also having access to calculator nowadays in CAT, we are having on screen calculator that can be used for lengthier calculations, but still, if you can get an answer faster than using calculator, that why won't we go for that way? Human intelligence is much more than anything, right? We have much more intelligence than machines. Humans have made machines, right? Machines have not made humans. ठीक है ना? So machines we must use, but don't be used by machines, right? So don't be dependent on machines. So that's why some of the very common fractions which you are going to use repeatedly, going to see repeatedly, you must remember them. Many of these things you already remember, and if you have been practicing a while by now, so certainly you are familiar with them. But if you are seeing it for the very first time, so that's a task for you. That these are very basic fractions: 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 1 by 5, 1 by 6. These are very common thing. 1 by 7 was the one which we have just used in this question, right? 1 by 8 is just half of 1 by 4. It is also very commonly used. You must remember it by heart. And same way, 1 by 9 is 11.11%, and 1 by 11 is 9.09%. So they are also being repeatedly used in CAT, and other values are also again very simple values. So some of these values you must certainly remember. ठीक है ना? At least these 4 values which I have circled, you must remember for sure. देखते ही आपको याद आ जाना चाहिए और use करना चाहिए. ठीक है? Suppose how to use them? Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Yes, Aditya, 1 by 6 is also there. 1 by 6, 1 by 12. अच्छा value गलत लिखी यहाँ पे. अरे excellent, excellent, wonderful, wonderful Aditya. So 1 by 6 is not 16.16%, is 16.66 or 67. Perfectly fine. Excellent, Aditya. Excellent. Okay, let me give you a question. Let me give you a small question, and I'm showing you how to use these fractions. कहाँ पे काम आते हैं fractions ये? Suppose ऐसा बोलते हैं क्या बोलें? Okay, मैं ऐसा बोलता हूँ कि that price of a commodity of an article, let's say, of an article is increased by 12.5%. Okay, just by seeing this sentence, what ratio come to your mind? Just by seeing this sentence, what ratio comes to your mind? Price of an article is increased by 12.5%. Remember 12.5%? We have just seen that. Yes, so 12.5% is 1 by 8, right? That means if initial price had been rupees 8, so it is being increased by 1 now, right? It is being increased by 1 now. So price अब 1 बढ़ गया है, it has become 9 now. ठीक है ना? We can take the values directly. We should take the values directly, right? If you want to keep it variable, we can keep it variable. I can put x here. So if the price was 8x, now it has become 9x. Is that clear? Now, let me continue the question. If I ask you now, by what percent it should be decreased? By what percent it should be decreased to restore the original price. इसको कितना परसेंट कम करना पड़ेगा कि ओरिजिनल प्राइस पे जाने के लिए? What we need to do? That means now we are talking about कि 9 में से कितना कम कर दूं कि वापस 8 पे पहुंच जाएं. तो how much needs to be subtracted? 1. So basically 1 by 9 needs to be subtracted, right? And what about 1 by 9? Remember, 1 by 9 was 11.11%. So that's my answer. Are you getting that? So that's how this fraction table, this fraction conversion, fraction percentage table is going to help us very fast, very fast. So the moment we see the percentage, we should have the immediately recognition of the corresponding fractional part, and the fractional part helps me to assume the values also, right? And now whatever is the question, we can answer it very fast. Is that clear? Okay, so that was one of the part of percentages. So first we must know how to calculate percentages, and then we must be familiar with this conversion chart, and also we are having sometimes comparing values. Sometimes we have to compare values. For example, in this case only 30 and 40 rupees, if I come back here, so there are two persons, A and B, are having 30 and 40 rupees respectively, and I can see that this B is having extra rupees, right? B is having extra money. If I ask you how much percent more B is having than A, B के पास A से कितना परसेंट ज्यादा रुपए हैं? Fast. How much percent more B is having than A? It's again very simple thing, so we must be able to compare. So when I'm saying that B is having more rupees, so how much more he's having? 10 rupees, right? So he's having 10 rupees more. But kisse, right? Kisse. So with which we are comparing? So we are comparing this extra amount with respect to the amount with A, which is 30. So it is 10 by 30 into 100, which is basically 1 by 3, that is 33.33%, right? And in the same retrospect, if I asked you how much percent B is having, how much percent A is having less than B? A के पास B से कितना percent rupees कम है? How much percent less A is having than B? So this I'm comparing with B, right? This time I'm comparing with B. So कितना कम है? It is same amount, 10 rupees only. Again, A is having only 10 rupees less, but then whom? Then the amount with B, which is 40. So it will be 10 by 40 into 100, right? This time it is 1 by 4, which is 25%. So this is a very simple part. If you understand, whenever we are calculating percentage, so what value is going to come in denominator, if you don't do any mistake in that, if you are able to write it properly, understand it properly, then this is very easy topic. Actually, the complete arithmetic topic is very easy if you use your intelligence. Most of the people avoid that. They depend only on the formulae, shortcuts and all. But formulas and shortcut will be helping you only if you carry your intelligence along with. ठीक है? Okay, moving further. So that was a very basic part of the percentage. Now, okay, meanwhile we have this introduction presenting you iCAT 1.0, right? 1.0. So it's all India free CAT 25 mock. So that is going to happen, that's going to start from tomorrow. It's live on 6th June, that is tomorrow, right? So last day to appear is 9th June. So that is a window here. In this window, you can appear in this test. And as I said earlier as well, if you have not yet joined our iQuanta mock test series, this iCAT series, so you can still register. The details are given in the description box. You can contact our team there. And so this first test is free, and there will be more tests. And you are going to get prizes also. So rank 1 is going to get an iPad, okay? See, pata nahi CAT mein hoga ki nahi hoga, but the first rank, if you reach this position, you are going to get this prize, first rank, and second position, second rank, 10,000, and third to fifth, they are going to get free IMABC batch, you are going to get free admission, right? So it is not compulsory to take admission into iQuanta, any course to participate in this test. This is a free test, right? This is a free mock, right? What you call it? Free. So these are the top 5 prizes only for enrolled students. Okay. These five prizes only for enrolled student. But other than that, there will be other prizes as well. So 6th to 20th will get flat 7,500 discount on iQuanta CAT course, and then further you are having 5,000 discount on iQuanta CAT or non-CAT course. Okay, so these prizes are for the paid students, but you can at least attempt the test, right? And if you are already a student, then certainly you are having a chance to get back your money, right? You are getting your knowledge and plus get back your money by getting a good score. Okay, so that's a nice invitation to all of you. Okay, I'm moving further now. Okay, so here it is. So that's what we were discussing. X is what percent of Y. Sometimes you are having question like that. Okay, we are having a certain amount. This is what percentage of Y. So how to calculate that? So which we want to compare X, that will come in numerator. So what percent of Y? So we are comparing with Y. So Y will come in denominator into 100. So that gives you X by Y into 100. Acha, is it necessary that X should be greater than Y? Is it necessary? ऐसा जरूरी है क्या? If I ask you that 30 is what percent? 30 is what percent of 40? What will be the answer? Answer it fast, please. It's not necessary actually. Yes, exactly. So please answer this. 30 is what percent of 40? कितना आएगा? It's simply same. 30 by 40 into 100. It's 75%, right? This is 75%. Wonderful. It's simple thing. It's 30 by 40 into 100. That is 75%. Okay. If I reverse the question, that 40 is what percent of 30? Now answer. 40 is what percent of 30? So now this time 40 is more than 30. That means it will cross the barrier of 100%. So remember that. Why I am giving this question? Remember that percentages are not bound up by 100. ऐसा नहीं है. Sometimes people do this mistake that it cannot go beyond 100%. Percentages can be more than 100% also, right? So this is 4 by 3 basically. So 40 by 30 into 100, that comes out to be 133.33%. ठीक है ना? Yes, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, Dhruv. It's 4 times 33.33%. So basically 33.33% more than 100, right? So it comes out to be 133.33%. So percentages can be much more than 100%, right? Percentages can be much more than 100%. Okay, so that was one part. And now this is one of my favorite trick. X percent of Y is equal to Y percent of X. This is very beautiful, very small and beautiful, sleek, very sleek and beautiful expression in percentages. X percent of Y is same as that of Y percent of X. What does it mean? Let me give you a small demonstration here. If I ask you, what is 10% of 45? Please answer fast. What is 10% of 45? It's very simple, right? What is 10% of 45? You don't need to think even, right? You don't need to write anything. You can just tell the answer, right? It is simply 4.5, right? There is nothing to calculate. You don't require any expression to solve it. You know it is 4.5, right? But now if I ask you, what is 45% of 10? Now can you tell me? What is 45% of 10? Now some people will start writing, but it is not required. If you remember that, if you understand that, it is exactly same thing. It is just another way of writing the same thing. Right? We just need to understand it is just another way of writing the same thing. So when we are having 45% of 10, it is exactly same thing. 10% of 45, which is same, 4.5. Fine, so there is no difference. So this is a very beautiful thing. And important thing is that it is not only limited to 2 terms. It is not only limited to 2 terms. There could be more than 2 terms as well. For example, if I say, what would be 30% of 40% of 50? Let's make it like that. So you can have any arrangement. You can have any arrangement. I could say it is 50% of 40, that's 20, right? Then 20% of 30, that is 6. Right? In any order we can perform, in any order. Okay? For example, let's say 30% of 40 is how much? 12, and then 50% of that 12, that is 6. In any order we can perform. So it's not only limited to two terms, x percent of y is y percent of x. So I could say x percent of y percent of z is also going to be arranged in the 6 arrangements. Is that fine? ठीक है ना? And that is quite very helpful. And let me extend it further. How and where you are going to use that? Sometimes you have a question where you are having successive percentage changes, right? One percentage change is applied, then another percentage change is applied, then another percentage change is applied, whether increase or decrease, whatever be the case. So all those percentage changes can be applied in any order. The result is going to be same. The net result is going to be same. If a price is first increased by 50%, right? If a quantity is first increased by 50% and then it is increased by further, let's say 40%. So what would be the effective percentage change, right? So we can apply these percentage changes in any order. The result is going to be same. So that is the important part here. So don't get stuck in these small things. Okay, fine. Let's proceed further. So x is what percent more than y? X is what percent less than y? We already talked about that. So the things with which we are comparing, than y, so that will come in denominator. So less than y, so जिससे भी compare कर रहे हैं, that will come in denominator. Now this is an important concept here, multiplication factor. So what is this multiplication factor? So if x is increased by 10%, right? If I increase any quantity by 10%, so x plus 10% of x, which is 1 plus 10%, 10% you know it is 10 by 100, right? Or in decimal form if I write it is 0.1. So if you add them, it comes out to be 1.1. So this 1.1, this is what we call multiplying factor. ठीक है ना? So the moment we see the percentage change, we should be able to identify what is going to be the multiplying factor, or the vice versa situation. If you see any multiplying factor, we can identify that how much percentage change it has experienced. Is it okay? Is the multiplying factor concept clear? Let me give you some more example for that. Let me give you some more example. I think there on the next slide we are having more examples. Yes, see, here we are having more examples. See, we are basically multiplying x by 1.1, right, which is known as multiplying factor for 10% increase. So next time if you want to decrease a quantity by 10%, what will happen? So we will be decreasing by 10% now. So what will be multiplying factor now? It would be 1 minus 0.1, that is 0.9, right? So 0.9. So that would be the multiplying factor. So same way, if you are increasing by 20%, please tell me what will be the multiplying factor? If I increase any quantity by 20%, increase by 20%, what would be the multiplying factor? Tell me fast. Tell me fast, please. If I increase any quantity by 20%, what will be the multiplying factor? Yes, exactly. It's very simple, 1.2. Because 20%, that means 20 by 100, that is 0.2 is being increased. So 1.2. Decreased by 30% पे क्या बनेगा? If I'm decreasing something by 30%, so it would be 0.3 will be subtracted, right? So the multiplying factor here would be what? Write fast. 0.7, right? Yes, exactly. Good, Aditya. So it's going to be 0.7. And then again increased by 12%. Increased by 12%. So it is 1.12, right? And that you can see the answer here. So question was, find the resultant value when 100 is increased by 20%, decreased by 30%, then increased by 12%. So the net result is simply 100 multiplied by 1.2, 0.7, 1.12. The total value comes out to be 94.08. ठीक है ना? So कितना percentage resultant value we were to tell? That's the answer here. Is that fine? Achha, by the way, if it is asked here, what is the resultant percentage change? Can you tell me here? What is the resultant percentage change? If question is asking about find the resultant percentage change. So how much effective percentage change has happened from 100 to 94.08? What has happened? Can you tell me what is the effective percentage change? Yeah, what is the overall resultant percentage change? Yes, it is a decrease. It's a decrease of 5.92%. So minus 5.92%. So that is the effective percentage change. ठीक है ना? So that's how this multiplication factor is really a very handy concept to solve the questions faster in case of percentages. ठीक है? So some multiplication factors are given here now. You can very easily understand them. So 5% increase is 1.05, 10% increase is 1.1, like that. Same way we are having their decrease. So what is going to happen? You can see that. Fine. If you wish, you can take a screenshot. Otherwise, again, this is a very basic thing. Now, please answer a few more. I hope this part is okay. Is this multiplication factor table clear to everyone? How we are getting these values? Rajat Thakur, good, very good. Yes, that's what I wanted to hear. Okay, Rajat Thakur, beta, kya samajh nahi aaya aapko? We have taken two examples. So when we are increasing certain quantity, what becomes a multiplication factor? That means, what is a multiplication factor? कि कोई वैल्यू कितने गुणा हो गई, कितना टाइम्स हो गई है. Let's get back and let's see here only. So we took an example of 10% increase. So Rajat and others, if anyone is having any confusion, see here once again. If I'm increasing any quantity by 10%, x is being increased by 10%. तो x कितना टाइम्स हो गया है पहले से, तो कितना टाइम्स हो गया है, दैट इज कॉल्ड द मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर, राइट? कितने गुना हो गया है. इफ से मेरी सैलरी डबल हो गई है, सो दैट 2 इज अ मल्टीप्लाइंग फैक्टर, राइट? मेरी सैलरी 10 गुना हो जाए, ये मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन है. सो व्हाट मल्टीप्लिकेशन फैक्टर आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग? 10 टाइम्स, राइट? 10, राइट? सो इन दिस केस दिस x इज बीइंग इंक्रीज्ड बाय 10%. तो x कितना टाइम्स हो गया है खुद का, राइट? So that's what we want to find out. That's we are calling as multiplication factor. Is that clear? Right? What is the meaning of multiplication factor? So it is how much times a quantity becomes of itself. Okay. So how to calculate that? So we are increasing this x by 10%. Now 10% of what? Of x only, right? That means the new quantity should be x plus 10% of x. Exactly same thing was written in the previous slide. ठीक है ना? Rajat, are you understanding? I'm just repeating for your sake only. Please confirm. Is that part okay? Now 10% of x, we know that percent can be replaced by upon 100. So 10 by 100 would be 1 by 10 or basically 0.1. ठीक है ना? So it comes out to be x plus 1 by 10 of x, or I can also say x plus 0.1x. Right? And if you add them, x plus 0.1x, how much it comes out to be? It is 1.1x. So the original question, that what becomes the multiplying factor of x? So x is multiplied now by 1.1 times. That's it. So that was the basic thing, right? If I would have decreased it by 10%, here would be minus sign, this would be minus sign, this would be minus sign, and this will become 0.9, isn't it? So that is mentioned here if you see in this table. So a 10% increase means 1.1 as a multiplying factor. And if you had a 10% decrease, in that case we are having 0.9 as the multiplying factor. So using this multiplying factor is very handy tool in solving the questions in a quicker method. Is that okay? Now all of you, question for all of you, please tell me, if I have a 100% increase, can you tell me what would be the multiplying factor? If there is 100% increase, everyone, what will be the multiplying factor? Fast, please, fast. Excellent, Aditya. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, yes, Ayush. Good. So it is going to be 2. And if there is a 100% decrease, then? If there is a 100% decrease, then? अरे भाई माइनस करोगे तो 0.9 आएगा ना रजत बाबू. If you are going to decrease it by 10%, if it is minus 10%, if you are going to decrease it, what will happen? So 1 minus 0.1, that would be 0.9x. That's it. ठीक है ना? तो same way, if I am getting a certain thing decreased by 100%, it becomes 0 only. Is that fine? Okay, one more. If I say there is, let's say 300% increase. Now what will be the multiplying factor? If there is 300% increase, the multiplying factor. Excellent, Dhruv. See, people do error at these points. 3%, 100% पहले तो समझ ही नहीं आता. What is 300%? है ना? So 300% means जितना भी था उसमें उतना 3 गुना बढ़ गया. तो कितने गुना हो गया? How much times it has become? It has become 4 times. Okay, let me ask you a reverse question now. Let me ask you a reverse question. If I say the multiplying factor has become 10, can you tell me what is the percentage increase? If a quantity become 10 times of itself, how much percent increase has it experienced? Yes, excellent, bro. Wonderful, wonderful, Aditya. It's 900% increase. So these are very basic things of percentage, and if you are clear about that without any confusion, it's very smooth. It's very smooth process. Is that fine to everyone? Shall we proceed further? So far we have just covered two big topics, percentages and averages, and I wish to move fast further now. There are many small subtopics left, and we shall cover the important things of them as well. आगे चलें. Write in your comments. Please be active. Okay. I'm moving further now. By the way, Rajat, I hope you have understood all the things. And if not, I would suggest you please go through whole the process once again. The same process was mentioned earlier also, and we have discussed it here as well. Okay, I'm moving further now. So now we are moving to the another application of this percentage, which is simple and compound interest. So simple interest, compound interest, it is just an application of percentage, right? It is just an application of percentage. So what we are doing here, so difference and graphical representation of simple interest, compound interest. In case of simple interest, you know the things, the amount increases in a constant manner, right? So it's a sort of arithmetic progression actually. If you call it mathematically, it's just an example of arithmetic progression. Let me write it here. It's an example of arithmetic progression. But in case of this compound interest, it is almost a geometric progression. Not almost, it is exactly, it acts like a geometric progression. ठीक है ना? All of you are familiar with that. In case of arithmetic progression, the values are increasing at a constant rate. Why? Because you are getting a fixed percentage of the basic value, the principal value every time, right? Every tenure, you are getting a fixed increase, right? Fixed increase. That fixed increase, we call it simple interest, right? In case of this compound interest scenario, your interest goes on increasing. Every time you are getting more increase, more hike. So this graph goes exponentially, right? So it is actually geometric progression. It follows geometric progression, and you are going to get more returns in case of compound interest. Now, how much exactly? Let's see that. So simple interest is always charged on a sum which is original principal at a particular rate and specified period of time. And simple interest for all the years is same. हर साल equal interest मिलने वाला है, as in the case of AP, right? Between every 2 consecutive terms, the gap is equal. ठीक है ना? And in case of compound interest, it is charged on principal and the accumulated interest. जितना interest इकट्ठा हुआ है उस पर भी interest मिलता है. That's why every next tenure your interest amount is going to increase, because it is not only on the interest of the initial principal, it is also calculated on the accumulated interest. जितना आपने पहले interest इकट्ठा कर लिया है उस पर भी interest मिलता है. That's why your every year's interest keep on increasing, and that's how your amount grows exponentially. Fine. Okay, so compound interest for all years is different. I hope that is very clear now. So this is a simple example here. So if you had a principal of 1000 rupees, you invested at a rate of 10%. So how much interest you are going to get? It's clearly 100, right? Is this diagram visible, by the way? Is this image visible, or should I draw it? or all these values visible? If not visible, I can write them again. Please confirm. Is that visible? Yes or no? Visible, hai na? Fine, fine. So that's why it's clear thing. So if you are having, you are investing 1,000 rupees, let's say, at a rate of 10%, it's a simple interest scenario. So interest earned is 10% of 1,000, that is 100 rupees. This is end of first year, you are having principal 1,000. So end of 1 year. Now in the second year, you again have the same thing. In the second year again, you are having amount. If I write here, amount at the end of 1 year would be how much? So principal 1,000 plus 100, that is 1,100 rupees, right? So amount at the end of first year would be 1,100 rupees. Now in the second year, again you are having 10% interest, but 10% of what? 10% of same principal. 10% of same principal, 1,000. So again you are having 100 rupees in interest. So at the end of second year, your amount would be increasing just by 100 rupees. It would be 1,200, right? Initially it was 1,000, then after end of first year it becomes 1,100, 100 more. Then again after end of second year, again 100 more. And same way end of third year also it is getting an interest of 100 rupees. So the amount will be 1,300. So basically, as you can see, every year there is an equal interest, equal increase. So that's the method of that arithmetic progression. We have already seen that where every term is being increased by an equal amount. And in this case, what is that equal amount? That is the interest earned every year, right? That equal amount is the interest earned in this case. Is that fine? Okay, now a small question to all of you. Can you tell me how do we calculate this interest in case of simple interest? What is the formula for that? What is the method for that? How do we calculate simple interest? How do we calculate this simple interest? Please write down fast. Yes, exactly. It's PRT by 100. All of you remember this formula since our school times, isn't it? Where P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, and T is the time in years for which an amount has been deposited. Right? So it is PRT by 100. That gives you the simple interest. And that is going to remain constant because the principal is constant. Principal is the initial amount, initial sum of money which has been deposited at a certain rate of interest for certain duration of time. So every year we are going to get same interest. So it is PRT by 100. So that is the only formula in case of simple interest. Now similarly, when we talk about compound interest, what happens? So for compound interest, we are having same rate of interest 10%. We are having the same principal 1,000 rupees. But now this 10% rate of interest is applied not on the initial principal, it is applied on the new principal, because every time the principal also changes here because the previous interest is also added. So in the first year, if you see, so the interest is 100 rupees. So the new principal becomes 1,000 plus 100. That means 1,100. That means next time 10% interest you are getting on this new principal, right? So the interest becomes 110. And the new principal for the next term becomes 1210. So every time you see the principal is changing, because of that the increase is not constant here. It was increase of 100 rupees here, and here it is an increase of 121, right? And the next time, here increase was 110, and next time this is the increase of 121 rupees. Why? Because 1100 का 10% कितना होता है जी? 110, right? And same way 1210 का 10% कितना होगा जी? It's 121, right? Now very important thing to observe here is that that's quite easily visible here that we are not having the equal change here. Equal increase नहीं है यहाँ पे. क्यों? Because we are adding the interest on the previously accumulated interest also. But still there is very common thing. See, if you check the ratio here, so 100, 110, 121, can you see their increase? They are increasing by 10%, right? 100 में 10% increase कर दोगे, क्या बनेगा? It's 110, right? 110 में 10% increase कर दोगे, कितना बनेगा? It is 121. So they are having the same multiplying factor of 10% increase, that is 1.1. And here also if you see, the same multiplying factor of 1.1 works. So basically in this case, we are having every time the new principal or the new amount is becoming 1.1 times of the previous. That means amount is coming out to be 1 times of one of the previous principal, right? If initially we had a principal P, the amount after first year is 1.1 times P, right? What about the amount after second year? Can you tell me that? It will be actually 1.1 times of the amount of the previous year, right? We can see here, see 1100 rupees tha first year ke baad, after second year it is becoming 1210, right? So this 1210 is also 1.1 times, it is just 10% more, right? So it is 1.1 times A of first year, or if I put the value there, it comes out to be 1.1 square times P, right? So same way, amount after third year is going to become 1.1 times of amount after second year, which is effectively will be 1.1 ka square times amount after first year, which effectively is 1.1 ka cube times the principal. So effectively we get the net result as this one. So the amount in case of this compound interest becomes basically whatever is the rate of interest, so 1 plus rate by 100 raised to power n, if n is the number of years, times principal. So that becomes our result for the amount. If I want to find out the value of interest, we can take up their difference as we have mentioned here. ठीक है ना? Is that thing clear? So that is very important thing which we have just discussed here. This is a very important thing. See, let me tell you, if I give you a certain example here, so there is certain principal, don't know how much. So it has been deposited at a certain rate of interest per annum, compounded per annum. It's compounded per annum. How much rate of interest is, that is also not mentioned. Okay, that is also not mentioned, but rate is interest, it is compounded per annum, per year. So what is given here is now is that the amount becomes, amount after 2 years, it becomes, let's say 1200 rupees. Amount after 2 years is 1200 rupees. And it is continued to be deposited. So amount after 3 years, it comes out to be 1440 rupees. Fine. The amount was continued to be deposited. So it comes out to be 1440 rupees. So question is, what was the original principal? Can you figure out that? What is the original principal? And what is the rate of interest? Both things are to be calculated. Please calculate fast. Can you figure out the rate of interest here? Exactly. It's a very good thing, Aditya. The first thing is we should be immediately able to identify that this amount after 2 years is being increased by what percent? That is the rate of interest. It is 20%, right? This is 20%. That means amount after first year, what it would have been? First year के बाद क्या amount रही होगी? 1 year के बाद? It would have been 1000 rupees, isn't it? Because that is also being increased by 20%. ठीक है ना? So now we need to go further. We can calculate the percentage as well. So the first point was to understand that rate of interest is just to see how much percentage increase is there. It is 20%. It is 20%. Right? So same way from first year to second year also there has been same increase of 20%. So this is again increase of 20%, which means to get back there we need to subtract 1/6, right? We need to subtract 1/6. So 200 rupees I have subtracted is 1000. So again to go back to the principal, I just need to subtract 1/6 of this. So the principal is going to be 5/6 of 1000. So the principal is nothing but 5/6 of 1000. So that's how, in terms of ratios, in terms of percentages, we can use it very fast. Fine. No need of using any formula. There was so lengthy formula and so many things. No need to get in the complications there. Is that clear? Is that clear? So we know that every time there is an increase of 20%, 20%, 20%. Right? So 20% increase means what is going to be the multiplying factor? Can you tell me? If there is a 20% increase, what is going to be the multiplying factor? So 20% increase means 1 by 5 increase. That means 6 by 5 as the multiplying factor. Right? 6 by 5 as the multiplying factor. So while going this side, we are having 6 by 5 as the multiplying factor. And if I go back, it would be 5 by 6. Right? If I go back, it would be 5 by 6. And that's what I have done here. So the answer, the principal here is going to be 5 by 6 of 1000. Is that fine? Excellent, Rajat, you are still here. I was doubtful, but very nice. I hope you have understood the application of this multiplying factor. So using that multiplying factor, we could have solved this question very nicely, very fast, without getting stuck in any of the complications. Okay, so I shall move further now. So all these formulas you already know, we have already discussed that. So simple interest is PRT by 100, compound interest we can calculate like this, amount we have already given here, and that's it. So if amount is being compounded n times a year, then also this rate is to be divided accordingly. And this is basically in power, and this is not here, it is in the power, and this is exponent here. Okay, I'm moving further. So these are all important concepts, important formula here. You can take a screenshot. Even if you know that, this is going to be handy to you. So you can take the screenshot, and please confirm if screenshot is taken. You can note down if you wish, otherwise you can take a screenshot and note down afterwards. But these are some of the important formulae regarding difference between compound interest and simple interest, right? For same principal and same rate of interest, right? So after 1 year, after 2 years, after 3 years, and you get direct questions based on these results in examination. Done? Excellent. Thank you, Aditya, for confirmation. Okay, I'm moving further now. Let's move to another topic. So yes, again, this is an application of percentage only profit and loss. So there are some important keywords here. And I'm sure most of you are already familiar with that. So cost price, what is the cost price? At which an article is being bought. है ना, एक दुकानदार ने किस अमाउंट पे, किस प्राइस पे किसी आर्टिकल को परचेज किया है, that is called cost price or purchasing price also sometimes. Now we have next selling price, SP, and the price at which the item is sold, right? Remember that the selling price is different from the price which is shown to the customer. The price which is shown to the customer or which is visible to the customer, that is called marked price, right? Marked price. So sometimes it is printed also, sometimes it is a list price also, sometimes we call it maximum retail price. There are so many different ways which we can say. So if we are not giving any discount, if we don't give any discount on this marked price, then this acts as the selling price. Otherwise, the customer is going to receive certain discount also here. ठीक है ना? मार्केट प्राइस ऐसा लोग बोल देते हैं ध्रुव, एक्चुअली द वर्ड इज मार्क्ड प्राइस. अब वो मार्क्ड बोलने में कई बार लोग मार्केट प्राइस ऐसा बोल देते हैं. मार्केट प्राइस इज नॉट अ टर्म. मार्केट मैक्सिमम रिटेल प्राइस और प्रिंटेड और लिस्ट प्राइस, और एक्चुअली द वर्ड हियर इज मार्क प्राइस. द पॉइंट इज दैट इट इज अ विजिबल प्राइस, द प्राइस विच इज विजिबल, विच इज शोन टू द कस्टमर. देखो भाई ये इतने रुपए का है, मैं आपको इतना डिस्काउंट दे रहा हूं, राइट? सो दिस इज अ प्राइस एट विच a customer demands some discount, right? Customer cannot demand some discount on cost price. Cost price will never shown to the customer. Will it be shown? Certainly not. अगर दुकानदार, सोचो, अगर दुकानदार कस्टमर को कोस्ट प्राइस बता देगा, भाई मैंने 10 रुपए में खरीदा है, आप मुझे 11 दे दो, कस्टमर देगा क्या? नो. कस्टमर विल से नो 10 में कुछ डिस्काउंट चाहिए ना. कस्टमर is going to ask him discount always. So cost price is never going to be shown to the customer, right? So mark price is the price which is shown to the customer, which is visible to the customer, and now whether the customer gets certain discount or not, that matters, right? If certain discount is given, so after discount we get the selling price, or if no discounts are offered, in that case mark price itself acts as the selling price. Fine? What is the CP of iQuanta course? Zero. Aditya, I can call it zero. In the service industry, like when I'm teaching, so what is the cost of this teaching? Nothing, right? Am I incurring something? No. I'm getting some honorarium, है ना? लोग भी पढ़ाने के नाम पे आपको इतना पैसा देंगे, है ना? But that is not the only cost. There are many other costs also. So costs are calculated in the correct manner in the goods industries, in the things which we are being manufactured. But in the service industry, like teaching, and there is no cost. So there is zero CP, right? I remember when I started teaching online many years ago, so there was no cost involved, right? It's only human effort which cannot be calculated, which cannot be counted. Now, whatever thing you can charge, right? Anyway, coming back to the point, I hope you are able to understand the difference between these three prices. So while solving question, I have seen many students, they get confused between whether it is CP or SP or MP. They get confused. So don't get ever confused. Whatever price is being shown to the customer, that is actually always the mark price, and the final price which the customer pays, that is the selling price, and the price which was borne by the owner, the shopkeeper, the seller, that is called the cost price. And the difference between CP and SP, that is called our profit. So profit is earned when selling price is greater than the cost price. ठीक है ना? Of course selling price ज्यादा होगा तभी तो profit होगा ना. But selling price किससे ज्यादा होगा? Cost price से. So the difference between SP and CP, so SP minus CP is called profit, right? If SP is more. If SP is less than CP, in that case it is loss. So CP minus SP, that is the loss, right? If SP is less than CP, if selling price is less than CP, sometimes it may happen, right? So in that case, it is the situation of a loss. So it is going to be happening rarely. Most of the times everyone is working for profit only. So, but in sometimes we can see that situation as well, right? Okay. Now what is a discount? I have also told about discount. So can you tell me what is a discount? Discount किन terms के बीच का difference है? Discount is a difference between which terms? Can you mention that? I just mentioned that. मैंने अभी भी बात की थी. So discount is a difference between this mark price and selling price, right? So it is mark price minus selling price. So that difference is known as discount. Yes, exactly. Wonderful. Good. Okay, so let's proceed further. So profit we have talked about, loss done, and profit percent, loss percent is always calculated on CP. So CP comes in denominator. That's also to be looked after. इसको भी ध्यान देना चाहिए. So in practical life, there may be different ways. Some people whose profits are too much, they calculate their profits on selling price. I remember there were many students, and maybe among you also somebody could be there. So suppose a seller has a thing costing 100 rupees, CP is 100 rupees, and is selling at 1000 rupees. Selling price is 1000 rupees. Can you tell me the profit percentage? What will the profit percentage? Please answer fast. If a thing is costing 100 rupees and the seller is selling it at 1000 rupees, 1000 is the selling price. So how much profit percent is there? Yes, it is 900%. It appears too much, right? It appears too much because it is 900% more than CP, right? So in certain situations, in certain questions, you can get that indications, that instructions that profit is being calculated on SP. In some question, it may be like that. Alisha, it is not 90, it is 900%. But that appears too much. ज़्यादा लगता है, but actually ऐसा होता है. अरे ऐसा नहीं होगा तो बड़े बड़े महल कैसे बनेंगे? है ना? अगर 90 ही कमा रहे होगे तो वो तो खाने में खत्म हो जाएगा, right? So जो बड़े बड़े महल बनते हैं ना, उनमें actually ऐसा ही होता है. But to show the less value for percentages, in terms of percentages, what do? They sometimes calculate profit or loss in terms of selling price, right? Anyhow, coming back here. So if nothing is mentioned, so by default we calculate the profit percent or loss percent at CP, but in certain situations it may be otherwise also. So we need to be careful about that, right? If something is mentioned, so you need to be careful about that. Don't overlook that. Okay, I'm moving further. Before moving further, can you tell me discount percent किस पे calculate होगा? If I need to calculate discount percent. So the numerator is same, MP minus SP. दिस इनटू 100, लेकिन ये आउट ऑफ विच ये किस पर कैलकुलेट होगा? तो मार्क प्राइस पे जो हम डिस्काउंट दे रहे हैं, दैट डिस्काउंट वी आर गिविंग ऑन मार्क प्राइस, यस एमपी. सो इन द डिनोमिनेटर वी विल बी हैविंग एमपी हियर, कि एमपी का कितना परसेंट यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू पे, दैट इज द डिस्काउंट परसेंट, राइट? So what percent of MP, the mark price, you are not going to pay? So that is called the discount percent. So this discount percent is always calculated on MP. Again, don't get confused in this. It is not to be calculated on CP. It's not to be calculated on SP. It is always going to be calculated on mark price, which indicates कि mark price का कितना percent आप नहीं pay करने वाले हो. ठीक है? Okay, moving further. So ठीक है, that we already talked about. So there's a difference. That's the diagram shown here. So this is, I think, one example. Oh, not example. This is also again a very important part. I guess you can take a screenshot. All the things are covered in this diagram here, in this slide. You can take a screenshot here. This is also going to be very helpful to you. So it covers all the basic ideas relating all the terms CP, SP, and MP. You can see this triangle here, triangular diagram. So the difference between CP and SP is profit or loss, and the percentage how to calculate, we have just seen that. And mark price and selling price, their difference is the discount, and how to calculate that discount percent, that also we know. And mark price is certainly going to be more than CP, and their difference is also known as markup. You can see the term here, markup value, MP minus CP, that is called markup. And how to calculate that markup percent, that is also mentioned. You have taken the screenshot, please confirm. And in the bottom also, if you below the diagram, if you see, these are two important conditions mentioned here. If there are two articles which are sold at same percent profit and same percent loss, one is being sold at X percent profit, other is being sold at X percent loss, then what would be the overall result, overall profit or loss percent? There are two conditions, and both had same CP or both had same SP. So in case of same CP, there is no profit, no loss. But in case of same SP, we always have a loss of X square by 100%. So these are some of the important things which we are going to get repeatedly. It's the previous experience. In many exams, you find the exact same questions which use the same results. So these results we need to remember by heart, and we should be able to apply them as well. Okay, so we shall end at this point. Although there are few more topics, but we have done the basic idea of all the topics here, the percentage and the topics based on percentage. We have used ratios also, we have used averages also. So in a way, we have touched all the basic points. I told you there are three basic areas: percentage, average, and ratios, and all three we have worked with. Okay, so that's all from my side. I am ready to take any of your comments, any doubts, any queries you want to ask. So please go ahead. I have spared this last 5 minutes for you people. Or any suggestions, any feedbacks for the today's session, that also you can mention. You're welcome. And I would certainly like to say again, once again, if you have not taken up this iCAT series yet, you can register for that. At least go for the free CAT at least, right? Dhruv, एक doubt था, LRDI masterclass क्यों लिखा है? That's marketing thing. There are different terms being written. सुपरस्टार लिख दो, कुछ भी लिख दो यार. That's a marketing thing, है ना? ये सब तो QA का पार्ट है. अच्छा, इसमें LRDI मास्टर क्लास लिखा है, I don't know. अच्छा हाँ, यहाँ लिखा है ना ये iCAT warm-up session CAT 2025 LRDI मास्टर क्लास by Kamal Sir. अच्छा, मे बी ये अरे पुराना कॉपी कर दिया होगा, ये मूर्ख लोग हैं. That's a clerical error. That's a clerical error, Dhruv. By the way, good point. And this was, I can say this was also maybe intentional error to see whether you are able to figure out or not. So today's topic was basically formula revision, right? It was a formula revision part, and specifically for arithmetic. So I took one previous session that was, I guess, LRDI masterclass. So it may have been copied from there. Anyway, thanks for pointing that out. Batch 2 वाले iCAT MOOC कैसे देंगे? जैसे देते हैं श्रेया दे दो. See, I told you earlier also, whether your syllabus is completed or not, don't worry. Don't worry. अगर syllabus complete नहीं भी हुआ है, start भी नहीं हुआ है, don't worry. How does it matter? you are going to assess yourself that how much more efforts you need to put in, right? कुछ टॉपिक आप कर चुके होंगे, कुछ टॉपिक आपने नहीं किया होगा, you may not have practiced that much. You are going to get your present situation, right, in terms of yourself and in regard to the other aspirants also. So there is no harm in that. Shreya, ठीक है ना? Don't miss. बाद में एग्जाम दोगे तो that will be just practice. That's fine. But mock test and you getting its results, that will give you your present scenario. Where do you stand? So there is no harm in that. Okay. अच्छा ध्रुव, मैं कंफ्यूज हो गया था कि A4 लेके आया था cause working करने. Okay, हाँ, this was not set. ठीक है. I just saw it right now only. I didn't see it earlier. It was formula revision for arithmetic, not LRDI. LRDI masterclass I took earlier. I'm sure they must have copied it from there only. Okay. Any other query? Alisha, Aditya, Rajat, and all others, those who may not have commented. I wish to have your comments regarding today's session as well. How many students are present here? Please write your comments about today's session. Any suggestion, any further requests for future sessions, you can mention that as well. But if any doubt or any confusion regarding today's part, that also you can mention. Yes, fast, don't delay. Okay, Dhruv says no doubt. Thank you. Shreya, great session, excellent. Can I share my profile, Aditya? No problem, Aditya. अगर कोई बोले अपनी एज बता दूं तो बता दो भाई. See, I would like to comment one thing here. What we can't change, why to bother for that, right? You cannot change your 10th score right now, can you? Certainly not. Can you change your 12th class marks now? Not possible. If you are studying, maybe you can work slightly to improve your graduation score, but that is also very least likely, right? So what matters most at present situation? It is your written examination score, that is CAT score, right? So work in that regard, right? There is no excuse for that. Work for your CAT score. Right now, all your effort should be to improve your CAT score, and this iCAT, this mock test series, is in for that purpose only, right? So take it seriously and attempt the test properly, religiously, without any shortcuts, without any mistakes, without any pressure, and try to learn from the outcomes, whatever be the situation. Don't be bothered by the results. You may get a very low result, right? So don't be disheartened by that. Sometimes people become disheartened. I don't stand anywhere, I have no chance. No, don't take it like that, right? So we need to take from that how I can improve. I need to strategize from that how I can improve. What are the areas where I can work? What are the easiest areas where I can work faster, where I can improve faster, right? Go accordingly. ठीक है ना? So at this time, this CAT score is the only thing which we can improve and we should work on. Okay. Yes, exactly, Aditya. That's the point. Yes, that's why I stopped you to write, because which you can't change, which you can't control. It doesn't matter. Excellent, Rajat. I'm really happy that to get such a comment from you. Okay, so we shall end it here. So thank you very much. So we shall see you soon once again in any of the other session. So till then, goodbye. Hare Krishna. So I'm ending this live stream now.